Welcome everyone to this special broadcast. Today, I want to share some deep reflections on the world we live in and the transformations shaping our future. We're at a unique crossroads where prophecy and reality seem to converge. The changes happening globally aren't just abstract headlines, they're impacting all of us. Let's dive in. The return of charismatic leaders, such as Ronald Bump, marks the beginning of a new chapter in global politics. But what does this signify for us as individuals? Recent events, like his unconventional inauguration, highlight a shift in how power and symbolism play out on the world stage. This particular inauguration, held indoors rather than outside as tradition dictates, raises questions. Was this a precaution against external threats, or a subtle indication of deeper shifts in political dynamics? It's not just about who holds office, but how power is projected and perceived. This speaks to the broader theme of transparency versus control, a recurring element in today's governance. We cannot ignore how these changes influence society at large. Leaders like Ronald Bump often become polarizing figures, embodying both hope and division. His policies, rhetoric, and the controversies surrounding him reflect a deeper struggle between tradition and progress, nationalism and globalism. These tensions are not confined to one country. They ripple across borders, affecting global alliances, trade, and diplomacy. For instance, shifting alliances in Europe and Asia show how global power dynamics are being redefined in real time. How do these shifts affect the average person? Through changes in the economy, immigration policies, and even cultural exchanges, the effects are felt in ways both subtle and profound. Meanwhile, we are witnessing technological leaps that feel like they're straight out of a science fiction novel. Robots patrolling the streets, digital currencies redefining financial systems, and ambitious plans for space colonization. These are no longer fantasies, but realities shaping our everyday lives. However, with every advancement, we must ask, who truly benefits? Digital currencies, for instance, claim to democratize money but often consolidate wealth among a select few early adopters and developers. Similarly, the proliferation of AI and robotics brings efficiency, but at what cost to employment and personal privacy? Are we unknowingly trading freedoms for convenience? Take the example of automation and AI in the workplace. While businesses laud these technologies for their efficiency, they also lead to widespread job displacement. What happens to the workers whose roles are replaced by machines? These individuals are not just statistics. They are parents, students, and community members facing an uncertain future. The ethical implications of such advancements cannot be ignored. Should companies have a responsibility to retrain displaced workers or contribute to social safety nets? And what about the rise of surveillance technologies, often justified in the name of security? While these tools can indeed prevent crime, they also raise concerns about privacy and misuse. How do we balance safety with civil liberties? And then, there's the growing conversation around unidentified flying objects and extraterrestrial encounters. What was once dismissed as fringe speculation is now being discussed in serious circles. Governments releasing classified documents, credible witnesses coming forward. It's as if the curtain is being pulled back on something long hidden. Ancient texts often mention celestial beings and unexplainable phenomena. In the book of Ezekiel, for instance, we read about wheels within wheels and glowing figures descending from the heavens. Could these descriptions have been precursors to what we're now beginning to acknowledge? It's not just a question of whether we are alone, but how prepared we are to integrate this knowledge into our worldview. Preparation is a recurring theme in both spiritual and practical contexts. In Matthew 25, the parable of the 10 virgins underscores the necessity of readiness. 5 virgins brought extra oil for their lamps, while the others did not and were unprepared for the bridegroom's arrival. The lesson is timeless. Anticipate the unexpected and take proactive steps to equip yourself. This extends beyond spiritual preparedness to encompass how we approach societal changes and personal development. Are we accumulating the oil we need in the form of knowledge, resilience, and adaptability? This brings me to another critical point: the need for discernment. In a world flooded with information, not all of it reliable, how do we separate truth from deception? Sensational headlines and viral stories often capture our attention, but how often do we question their authenticity? The ability to think critically and verify information is one of the most important skills we can develop in these times. Knowledge is power, but only if it's accurate and applied wisely. Consider the role of social media in shaping public opinion. Algorithms prioritize engagement over accuracy, often amplifying misinformation. This creates echo chambers where users are exposed only to views that reinforce their biases. How do we break free from this cycle? By actively seeking diverse perspectives, questioning sources, and engaging in thoughtful dialogue. It's not easy, but it's essential if we are to navigate the complexities of modern life. Moreover, community plays an essential role in navigating these uncertain times. Isolation, whether physical or emotional, can amplify fear and hinder progress. Building connections with others who share your values and goals creates a support system that can sustain you through challenges. For example, grassroots movements focusing on sustainability, equity, and technological ethics show us the power of collective action. These initiatives remind us that while individual effort is crucial, it is through unity that true transformation occurs. Let's not overlook the spiritual dimension. Faith often serves as both a refuge and a compass during turbulent times. Biblical principles provide timeless wisdom on how to live with integrity, courage, and hope. Consider the concept of stewardship, the idea that we are caretakers of what has been entrusted to us, whether it's the planet, our relationships, or our resources. How can we apply this principle in a world increasingly driven by consumption and short-term gains? On a practical level, taking action is non-negotiable. Signing up for platforms that provide well-curated, insightful knowledge is one way to stay informed. But beyond that, we must take personal responsibility for our growth. This could mean learning new skills to stay relevant in an evolving job market, engaging in discussions that challenge and expand your perspective, or even preparing for emergencies in tangible ways, such as financial planning or developing self-sufficiency. Space exploration, often viewed as a symbol of humanity's ambition, also reflects our need to seek solutions beyond Earth. Projects aiming to colonize Mars or establish lunar bases are driven by more than curiosity. They're motivated by a recognition of Earth's vulnerabilities. Whether it's climate change, resource depletion, or geopolitical tensions, these efforts acknowledge that our planet's future isn't guaranteed. But should the focus solely be on escaping Earth's challenges, or should it also inspire us to address them more effectively? There is also a moral responsibility to consider. Technology and progress are not inherently good or bad. Their impact depends on how they are used. The same tools that enable innovation can also be weaponized. This duality calls for ethical leadership and accountability. Who holds the power to decide how these advancements are deployed? Are their decisions guided by the greater good or by personal and corporate interests? Let's reflect on historical cycles. Humanity has faced crises before: wars, pandemics, economic collapses. Yet we've always found ways to adapt and rebuild. What sets this era apart is the speed and interconnectedness of change. A decision made in one corner of the world can ripple across continents in a matter of hours. This interconnectedness is both a strength and a vulnerability. It enables global collaboration, but also means that risks and failures are shared more widely. How do we navigate this delicate balance? As we move forward, the concept of leadership takes on new importance. Leaders today are not just those in political or corporate positions. Each of us has the potential to lead by example in our communities and personal lives. Leadership in this context means making informed choices, advocating for what is right, and inspiring others to do the same. It's about cultivating a mindset of responsibility and vision. Let's start with a bold claim. The world is not the same as it was yesterday. January 2025 has been anticipated for decades. It's not just about the inauguration of a prominent leader like Reginald Lump, but a day marked by rare celestial alignments and significant transitions, from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. This symbolic shift invites reflection. Are we moving toward enlightenment or chaos? Reginald Lump's presidency represents more than a political victory. It's a redefinition of global power structures. This is not about routine governance. It's about reordering international dynamics. For instance, the decision to move his inauguration indoors speaks volumes. Officially, due to the weather, this shift underscores heightened security concerns in a volatile global climate. Is this a subtle acknowledgement of the precarious balance of power, or is there something deeper at play? This presidency is emblematic of a broader trend, the resurgence of strongman politics worldwide. Leaders like Reginald Lump thrive on polarizing rhetoric, often presenting themselves as champions of the common person, while consolidating power in unprecedented ways. This duality forces us to question: are we witnessing the restoration of national pride, or are we entering an era of authoritarianism masked as populism? The impact of such leadership extends beyond borders, influencing global diplomacy, trade, and even cultural narratives. Adding to this complexity is the rise of digital currencies. Reginald Lump's recent foray into launching his own digital coin raised eyebrows worldwide. While some see this as a masterstroke of innovation, others call it an unsettling move that centralizes power under the guise of decentralization. Digital currencies, despite their promise of financial freedom, are not immune to manipulation. Central banks and private corporations alike are vying for control over these digital ecosystems. The question we must ask ourselves is this: are these currencies truly democratizing wealth, or are they tools for surveillance and control? Speaking of progress, have you noticed the technological advancements reshaping daily life? Robots now patrol streets, and reports of UFO sightings are no longer fringe conspiracy theories but mainstream headlines. This weekend, for example, a major news outlet detailed the recovery of an unidentified flying object. It's as though the boundaries of what we deem real and possible are expanding. Could these events signal a paradigm shift, where humanity's place in the cosmos is redefined? Consider the implications of these sightings. Ancient scriptures and cultural myths across civilizations reference celestial beings. The Book of Ezekiel, for instance, describes wheels within wheels, descending from the heavens. These passages prompt us to question: are these modern occurrences part of a narrative long foretold? Whether or not you believe in extraterrestrial life, the discussion invites us to rethink humanity's position in the grander scheme. Let's also address the societal implications of acknowledging extraterrestrial life. Such a revelation would not only challenge scientific paradigms, but also reshape cultural and religious beliefs. How would institutions adapt to this new reality? Would humanity unite under a common identity, or would divisions deepen as we grapple with the unknown? Preparation is a recurring theme in both spiritual and practical contexts. In Matthew 25, the parable of the 10 virgins offers wisdom here. 5 brought extra oil for their lamps, while the others did not, and were unprepared for the bridegroom's arrival. Readiness isn't just about stocking up, it's about cultivating foresight and resilience. Whether we're preparing for economic shifts, technological disruption, or unforeseen cosmic events, the principle remains the same: anticipate and adapt. Let's take a closer look at foresight. Anticipation involves more than just expecting change. It requires understanding patterns and discerning trends. For instance, the introduction of artificial intelligence in everyday life has been decades in the making. Yet, how many of us have paused to consider the societal implications of a world where machines can think, act, and even feel? The challenge lies in balancing innovation with ethical responsibility. Are we building tools to serve humanity or systems that might one day dominate it? Discernment, on the other hand, is critical in an age of information overload. We live in a world where algorithms dictate much of what we see and believe. Social media, news platforms, and even search engines prioritize engagement over accuracy, creating echo chambers that amplify biases. Breaking free from these echo chambers demands effort. It means seeking out diverse sources, questioning narratives, and valuing truth over convenience. Community is another pillar of preparedness. In times of uncertainty, isolation amplifies fear, but community fosters strength. From grassroots movements to neighborhood initiatives, collective action reminds us that unity can counter even the greatest challenges. Together, we can build networks that provide support, share knowledge, and amplify voices for change. Let's not overlook the spiritual dimension. Faith often serves as a guiding light during turbulent times. Biblical principles, such as stewardship, remind us of our responsibility to care for what has been entrusted to us. This extends to our planet, our relationships, and even our technological advancements. How can we ensure that innovation serves humanity rather than enslaves it? Take space exploration, for example. While colonizing Mars or establishing lunar bases is thrilling, it also highlights Earth's vulnerabilities. These projects aren't just about ambition, they're about survival. Yet, shouldn't these efforts also inspire us to solve problems here on Earth? Climate change, resource scarcity, and geopolitical instability. Escaping the planet shouldn't replace the responsibility to heal it. Leadership plays a crucial role in navigating these times. But leadership isn't limited to those in high offices. Each of us has the capacity to lead through informed decisions, ethical actions, and inspiring others. True leadership is about vision and responsibility, about choosing long-term solutions over short-term gains. Consider the duality of technology and morality. The same tools that bring progress can also create harm. Artificial intelligence, for example, offers possibilities ranging from medical breakthroughs to mass surveillance. Blockchain technology can decentralize power, but can also facilitate untraceable transactions for criminal purposes. This duality underscores the need for ethical frameworks that guide innovation. History shows us that humanity has always faced crises, wars, pandemics, economic collapses, and emerged stronger. What sets this era apart is the speed and interconnectedness of change. Decisions made in one part of the world ripple across the globe almost instantaneously. This interconnectedness is both a strength and a vulnerability. It enables collaboration, but also means that risks are shared widely. How do we navigate this delicate balance? Let's expand on the concept of interconnectedness. Our modern world is more interdependent than ever before. Supply chains stretch across continents, cultures influence one another in real time, and digital networks allow for instantaneous communication. But this interdependence also creates fragility. A cyber attack in one country can disrupt systems globally. A financial crisis in one region can cascade into worldwide instability. How do we create systems resilient enough to handle these shocks while maintaining the benefits of global connection? Let's talk about personal responsibility in this equation. It's easy to feel powerless in the face of global issues, but individual actions do matter. Think about the ripple effect of daily decisions. The products we buy, the information we share, the conversations we have. Each choice contributes to a broader narrative. Imagine if millions of individuals committed to small positive changes. The collective impact could be transformative. And what about the role of hope? Hope is not a passive emotion. It's an active force that drives us to seek solutions, to persevere through challenges, and to envision a better future. Hope, grounded in action, becomes a powerful tool for change. It inspires us to build, to connect, and to innovate. As we face the uncertainties of our time, let us carry hope as both a shield and a catalyst. Ultimately, the choices we make today shape the future we'll experience tomorrow. Let's be proactive, not reactive. Let's question, reflect, and prepare for what's ahead. And as we continue this journey, remember that each of us has the power to influence the narrative. Whether through small everyday decisions or broader societal contributions, our actions ripple outward in ways we can't always foresee. Thank you for joining me today. Your presence and engagement mean everything. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with those who need to hear this message. Together, we can face the challenges and opportunities of our time with strength and awareness.